Good morning, friends. How's it going today? I hope you're well. So we are going to be looking at two messages today. This is our daily message from our spirit teams, okay? And we have a personal message and a political message. Now, just a few things, few updates. So those who have been around this community for a long time, we're going to be doing this at noon regularly, just this format for now. Where we get the two messages and we have the oracle cards where they're going to give us more information, okay? And what I'm going to do for now on is I'm actually going to record a very short introduction to what I do with the pendulum and the cards, like how I draw them and stuff, and I'm going to put it in the description. And in fact, I just worked out a outline, a guideline for my guides that every time I get a personal message for the community and a political message for the community, that I don't have to keep asking them to call in all of our spirit teams to, I have sort of the, that it should be a message for our individual highest and best, and it should be a message for the collective high and best. I don't have to keep repeating that to them. I've sort of worked it out with them that that's always what I expect. And they said, that's good, like that's fine. And so what I'm going to do actually is in the description of every one of our videos, I'm going to put what those guidelines are so that I can always just say, I'm not going to repeat them over and over again. Like I feel like, if we have new people, it's really hard for me to get people up to speed, but also not repeat things over and over for folks who have been here. Plus for myself, you'd be surprised how much I dislike repeating things. You're probably like, yeah, but you repeat stuff all the time. Yeah, that's unknowingly. So anyways, I'm going to do that. I'm kind of excited about that, like that structure of it. So then at the beginning of every one of these videos, I can say, hey, if you want to know what's going on here, you can look in the description. Okay. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Real quick, super excited. The journals are ready. They won't have this line across them. This is a preview copy. So yeah, so if you want to spend 30 days deepening your relationship with your spirit guides and your spirit team, this is amazing. I've been using it, and I'm telling you, I am a different person since I started using this, like a week ago. I am. I can't even explain it. It's the structure that is set up in here. So we have 3 of them. There's Tea Time, so cute, and Lush Garden, and Mushrooms. That's my favorite one so far. So anyways, yeah, they're in our shop, so you can click on the link below. And the official community challenge will start on June 1st. I'm very, very sorry to keep pushing that, but you can start your own anytime, obviously. But the official challenge will start on June 1st, which means there's just going to be a little structure in the community. We're going to share a little bit about how, when we're doing the 30-day challenge together. If you want more details on the 30-day challenge, it's going to come in the newsletter. That's the QR code's right there, or the link is in the description. Okay. All right. So there may be a few videos coming up that I just show the journals just a couple times so people know they're available. All right. So let's get to the messages for today. So we have a personal message, and these are coming from our team collectively. So I ask for anyone who is going to be watching this video now and in the future. So that's, you can trust that your team was a part of this. Okay. All right. So the personal message is, I know some of you are going to have a hard time with this. I even said that when they said it. Just live for yourself. Just live for yourself. Okay. On the 12th, we got must love yourself, okay? Now they're saying just live for yourself, which means they're really been asking us to look inside, to do the inner work. They've been inspiring me to do the inner work, to do shadow work, to do inner exploration, whatever you want to call it, therapy, whatever you want to call it, okay? And so I'm really understanding that more. The more inner work I do, the more I'm understanding some of these messages, like must love yourself. I'm like, 2 days ago when they said that, or 3 days ago when they said that, I was like, I have no idea really what that means. So I've been thinking about it, and it's really been helping me feel more calm about what it means to love myself and stop worrying about how everybody else perceives me or how everybody else is living their lives. I've been doing that my entire life. So if you can look inside with these messages, I think they're life changers. They're just life changers. And some of you may have been doing that all along. They're nice reminders. So if you're watching this, again, your team knows you're going to be watching this today. And this is a message for each of us individually and collectively. Okay. So just live for yourself. Okay. So so then I'm going to tell you what both the personal and the political message is, just in case people don't want to do the oracle. But then I'm going to pull the cards and they're going to tell us more about like, well, why are they telling us that? Why are they telling us just live for yourself? So we'll unpack that a little bit together. Okay. Because I don't have the answers to that. I can even pick up the rods and ask them too. Okay. Okay. So the political message is hit coming. I did. And I said, well, in relation to what? And of course they said Trump. Okay. So hit coming, again, we'll unpack that. I will pick up the dowsing rods for this. I haven't done it yet, but I did ask them in like when, and they said May 2025. So that's this month. Okay. So I don't know what hit coming means. Let's see what a couple of the last messages were. I find this very fascinating. On the 11th, May 11th, they said Trump to lift tariffs, and he did. Like that afternoon or the next day. Because I was like, yeah, well, whatever. And then literally like that afternoon or that day, he did that. And I thought, thank you for the confirmation. In fact, that's one of the guidelines I've given them is that, when they're giving us messages for our highest good, part of it for our highest good is to get validation that what they're telling us is accurate, especially from time to time. Like show us a right and wrong answer from time to time, because they don't always do that. And I think that's important for me. It's important for all of us to know that they're actually like, it's worth our time, even like getting these messages, right? We want it to be worth our energy to even get these messages. So Trump to lift tariffs was on the 11th. On the 12th, it was wait for Jack Smith again. We'll see. Which, what's really interesting about that is that afternoon, after I got that message, it was either that afternoon or the next day, I saw Sterling post something about ICC. I don't know if it mentioned Jack Smith, but it was about ICC. And then I think Rosie took a look at that article. My sister then tried to dig into whatever Sterling had posted. And it's fine, just to see if she could find additional information. She couldn't find additional information on it, so then I wasn't going to spend too much time on it. But whatever Sterling found is perfect for him. But I thought it didn't really matter. What mattered to me was in terms of like the article he posted, but what mattered to me was that my guides and his guides were giving us the same information. I thought that was really interesting because I thought, oh my gosh, like they just said, wait for Jack Smith. And then the ICC thing came up and if you're not sure who Jack Smith is, you'll have to Google that. Okay. So the 13th, they said, you are here. That's the political message. You are here. And the political message in relation to F Trump is what they spelled out. They can be funny every once in a while. And then today it's hit coming, May 2025. So, okay. So those were the political message. The personal messages, I should have done this right away with the personal messages. I'll get a new flow down in coming days. But the personal message, let's just say starting on the 11th, the first one was thank you. Thank you. Then the next day was must love yourself. The 13th, which was yesterday, was time to listen. Time to listen. To your higher self. I asked in relation to what, and they said to your higher self. Okay. And then today it's just live for yourself. They're giving us permission to just live for ourselves, which means, again, it's loving yourself, doing what is absolutely best for you. Stop worrying about, and I know this is so hard because we are indoctrinated. That doesn't sound right. We have been conditioned from when we were little that we have to care about everything else outside of ourselves more than caring for ourselves. So it's a real challenge to do that, right? Especially in this political environment. So what it means to me, and I have said this before and I'll continue to say it, that when you are following your own intuition and your own guides, just living for yourself would mean that let's just take it from the political environment, when you're inspired to get involved in the political environment is when you do it, okay? When you're not inspired to get involved in the political environment, you don't do it. So that's living for yourself, okay? Even if you don't do it, you don't sit in guilt about it. You don't sit in, the shoulds, okay? You don't should yourself. Okay, we should really get a mug that says that. Stop shoulding yourself. We will. We've got to get a mug that says that. I know it's not an original saying, but I don't know. It depends on if it's trademarked or not. But so it's really just, that's what this whole exploration is about. The spiritual exploration is just following your inner guidance. Your inner guidance. You're not following your parents' inner guidance for you. That's their inner guidance. You're not following your siblings' inner guidance for you. That's their inner guidance. You're not, I'm just convincing myself of it too. This is why I'm repeating this. You're not following your children's or your grandchildren's inner guidance for you. You're following your inner guidance. I find it really fascinating, and I'd like to see this shift somehow. I find it, and I think it's great. Obviously, as we get older, we need people who care for us because, it just depends, health issues and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing this in my own family, and I've just seen it collectively, not on a grand scale, but just when I'm just getting more and more aware of it, when people get into their older ages, and it's kind of the same thing we do with children, is we don't keep them empowered. We don't let them continue to follow their own inner guidance. It's like we start to think we know better for them, And I would like to see us stop doing that. I'm going to look at myself when I'm doing that. Like I said, we were talking about with children yesterday about, if I were to raise a child right now, it would be literally, I would probably be well, what do you, let's get up. Let's, do a little journaling. What do you feel? Let's write to our higher selves. What is your higher self telling you want to do today? What do you want to learn today? Do you want to go to school today and learn with your friends? Or do you want to stay home and learn here? I know that sounds like wacko, but that would be teaching a child how to live for themselves. And I know, structurally and everything, you have to have the time to do that. I know that's complicated, but that would be an ideal world. And I would like to see us doing that with people who are older. What would you like to do today? How would you, and it depends on their issues and stuff like that. But I don't know, just something to think about. I'm just thinking about it for myself. So, okay, so let's do, I picked some cards. Well, actually the guides picked, our guides picked the cards today. So they would like us to use the Starseed Oracle. This is only the second time I'm using this. Cool box, look at that. Isn't that cool? Starseed Oracle for the Just Live for Yourself, okay? All right, so even though I've said the prayer this morning, I will say it again here. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and only those of the highest and purest light. And I ask Archangel Michael to please protect our channels and our community so that it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Okay, so you guys, talking to all of our spirit teams, What message, what do you want to tell us more? Tell us more about just live for yourself. Tell us more about just live for yourself. Okay, thank you. What do you think we need to hear today about just live for yourself? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, there's a flyer. Okay, so we've got 2. Let's see if that's what they wanted. All right. So do you guys want me to pull any more cards? No? Okay. And so do you want me to read both of the cards in front of me? Yes. Really slow. You guys are like slow. Okay. Do you want us to each pick a card? Ah, okay. So you want to have 2 options, but each of us pick our own card today? Yes, that's why I could tell their energy was like, well, yeah, we do want both, but I don't know. So you start to get to know them a little bit, like even just that way through their energy. Okay, so there's 2 cards. The one on the right is going to be number 1. The one on this side, it'll probably be your left, number 1 and number 2. Okay, so just take a deep breath, say 1 and 2 in your mind's eye, and just see if, something comes to you. If they don't, then maybe both messages are for you. Okay. Okay, did you get something? All right, so number one. Oh, yeah. Remember, they're giving us more information about just live for yourself. First of all, look at the image. I'm just going to put the image up a little closer because it's kind of small. Very cool. Just live for yourself. You're not for everyone. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. How beautiful is that? Face your weirdness. Yeah, you're going to get weirdness around here, I'll tell you that. Some of you already know that. Lots of weirdness. Okay. How amazing was that? I had picked this card. I need to always remember that, you guys. You're not for everyone. Us feelers and empaths, we like to be for everyone, don't we? It's like, why? I want to be for everyone. Okay, so here is a journaling message for you if you want to do some journaling on this. How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? I love that. So I'm going to put that in my journal, my 30-day journal. I like adding some of these things I get throughout the day, and then the next morning, if I want to journal on that, I will. But how can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you. But it's also filled with those who love you fiercely. They are your people. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. Talk to the people who can hear you. I love this. Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. Oh my gosh. That is really good for me. This is really good message for all creators. And I mean creators of any kind. Anyone who's doing what I'm doing here, or creators who are creating art. Not everybody's going to love what you do, but love what you do because other people will love it fiercely, the ones who will, okay? It has to do with anybody. All of us are doing creative things, okay? And then this also has to do with relationships. Okay, don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You're not for them and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Oh my goodness. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, to let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature. not to dim your light according to who is in your presence, to own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you with your paths when your paths cross. God, I love this card so much. I got to keep that out. That is amazing. Okay. That was amazing. All right, number 2, if you picked number 2. If number 1 could definitely resonate with you too, okay? So here is, I feel like we had this card recently. Here is, I think the first time we used Starseed. So number 2, fall into my arms. We did. I love this. Fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Okay. So fall into my arms. If I can find the F's, there we go. Okay, so there's a starseed activation for this card. Place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. So you can just imagine, you could take a picture of this if you want. Maybe just take just in your mind's eye, place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying into the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. This is for just live for yourself. Just live for yourself. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded, and when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we can do exactly that. You're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life, the agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, capital H, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've truly lived. Wow, very cool. I'm loving this deck so far. Those messages are amazing. Okay, so let's do the political message then. What do they want us to know? This is Angel Answers again. That seems to be, I think this is like the 3rd time this week they've given us Angel Answers card for the political message. So, okay, so we're going to be using Angel Answers. All right. So let's see. What do you guys want us to know about hit coming? I gotta make sure these are. Okay. All right. Hit coming. Hit coming. Okay. Oh, okay. Hit coming. May 2025. That's what they said. Hit coming. What hit is coming, you guys? That's right. I said I'd pick up the dowsing rods if I can think of questions to ask. All right. That one said no. I don't know if that's the right one. All right, let's see. Maybe they just want that one that popped out originally. Okay, do you guys want me to read all 3 of these cards? Do you want me to read the card on the left, the far left? Yes, so they said no to the first. Yes. You want me to read the middle card? No. And what about the one on the right? No. Do you want me to pick another card? Okay, so just the one on the left? Yes. Okay. Okay. Hit coming, you guys. This is the card. Look for a sign. Look for a sign. This will be the image that YouTube will pick for my picture when I go like that. Look for a sign. What? Okay, look for a sign of what? All right, this is the mystery of life. This is the mystery of life. It'll be very fascinating to look back. And you know what, you guys? The only thing I'm looking at right now is ground news, because I just go in, see what the headlines are. It's centered. It's like not dramatic. And it's making me feel so much calmer just knowing what's going on. Excuse me, and I'm just not watching the YouTube stuff anymore. So I'm going to be getting these messages without there's going to be no political bias, because I'm not really entangling with it right now. So your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. I'm pausing there for a minute. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they can connect with a family member. Signs require focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time. They are a message specifically designed for you. So, I think there's a reason why, there's obviously something's heating up. Okay. And that's not surprising, really. But we're really getting these personal messages about taking care of ourselves, living for ourselves, loving ourselves. And so just really, I think there's a connection there between the political and the personal. Okay, you guys. So when you say hit coming, is this like a literal hit? Oh, okay. Or is this a metaphor for something? No. Okay. So they said yes, like a literal hit. Yikes. Entertainment purposes only. This is not a prediction. So are you saying a hit to the administration? Yes. And is the hit a positive thing? For the administration? Is it a positive thing for the administration? No. Is it a positive thing for the American public or for the world? Yes. Okay. Will it feel like a positive thing for the world while it's happening? No. Okay. Will we see in time that it is very positive, that whatever happens? Okay. Is this an event per se? Is it something? Yes. Is it a shocking event? Yes. Okay. So something shocking is going to happen. I mean, is something more shocking? Because a lot of shocking things have been happening. How many more times can we be shocked? Is this a bigger shock than normal? Yes. Okay. Is that why you're giving us a lot of messages about taking care of ourselves? Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, let me know what you guys think. If you have other questions, you can ask those. I'm not sure. We haven't quite set up that. Yesterday I was doing a little section on like looking at notes. I don't think we're going to do that. But if we get enough questions about F45, we can do a separate just SG video on those questions. So just always ask your questions. And if my sister sees enough, then we'll put them together and do a separate shout out with those, a separate video to answer those questions. Okay. Okay. Well, go forward and just live for yourself. Okay. All right. Have a great one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.